Welcome back everyone to the apocalypse in City Skylines. So one of you let me know last time the broken buildings still cost money, which is really dumb because they're not doing anything. But apparently that's a thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the most expensive broken buildings and we're gonna shut them all off. And that should counteract the huge budget deficits we have. It's really ridiculous that they cost money even when they're broken, though. Like, I did not know that, but this is going to make it much easier to counter. They aren't actually costing any money. You guys were wrong. I knew it. I knew it. It's not actually. It's not going down at all. Or oh, maybe they cost a little bit. Wait a second. We'll go back down again when I click off. No. Okay, we have to test this on something really expensive. How much does this cost? Just to see the difference. 3,600. So the price, our cost should drop by like 3,000. And we'll even give it a minute for testing reasons. Nope, that's just from the population rising. So no, in fact, broken buildings do not cost money, so there's no reason to shut them off. Fun fact of the day. So no, I wasn't being stupid. I had a feeling they didn't anyways, because if we look at our expense panel, we have almost zero expense in education, and we have schools that are just destroyed, so that's impossible. Along with parks. Our most expensive thing is fire, which that one's interesting. I don't know why we're spending so much. Oh, I do know why, because we've got these two bad boys. And then we have this, although that's still way more money than we should be spending. So maybe the fire stations are still expensive? I am not sure. Let's check. There's got to be one around here somewhere. We can try to determine what's still sucking money out of the budget. So let's see if this is using money. So 21. Nope. Not at all. But the population is rising, which should counteract all the bad. What is so expensive then? Jeez. We're spending a lot on fire, and I'm not really sure what we're spending it for. Oh, the emergency shelters are technically factored in there. I wonder if we accidentally left any on? Where is this money being spent? That is the question. And I think the answer maybe. Well, we know that roads are expensive, but roads aren't expensive enough to justify deleting all of them. They're 20,000, but we're 40,000 in debt. Well, deficit. Once the population starts ramping up, if we can get rid of 20,000 in the deficit, we can get rid of the next 20,000 pretty quickly as well. So that's really not our issue. What we need to deal with right now is the other areas of expenses, which, I mean, we're spending a lot on these, but those are like the only services available to people. Oh, the train tracks. Would we be willing to redo those? That's, you know what? Again, we're so far in debt, it would take so long to come back anyways. I'm not sure if it's worth the ripping down all the stuff. Yeah, see, they've got no price anyways. We could... You know what I'll do? I know what the most expensive part of the railway is. It is the underground sections. So what we can do is we can delete the underground railroad. Oh, that sounds really bad. Not that underground railroad. We're destroying our underground railroad. Oh no. That sounds really bad. It's not what it sounds like. We're just getting rid of it because it's really expensive and it's not the civil rights thing. It's literally an underground railroad. I'm sorry. We could also replace it with subways in the future, which may be more efficient. But this line right here is using a lot of tax dollars. Yeah, this is a good one to get rid of. We could switch to just using planes to get between... I mean, what do we currently have as options for going between the different countries? Trains, pretty much, I guess. I guess that's what it pretty much all is, so... yeah, we'll have to redesign that. Like, I don't want to wipe out all of our infrastructure, because I love how the Earth looks, and I don't want to get rid of all of our roads and stuff and restart from scratch. Because then it's not really apocalypse survival, it's just restarting the series. That's not really surviving if you lose everything that used to be there. However, something small like this that's extremely expensive, yeah, we can cut it down. We can cut that cost. And this is actually going to be a major, major source of expense that's going to be gone, because this is a lot of railroads. It's an absolute mad lad amount of railroads. But that's because we needed them. Now we don't. Our population is quite a bit smaller. We don't really need the alternative means of transport anymore. Now we have above ground railroads, but those are actually kind of well designed and they don't cost nearly as much. But this should have a massive change. Yeah, look at the price dropping. Look at that. Oh, our weekly expenditure is dropping so quickly after that. Huge success. Huge success in decreasing costs. What is it at now? It's at 3,000. So we have highly, highly reduced the amount of cost there. I mean, we do have comparable costs when it comes to highways and stuff like these, but those are too essential. I can't rip down the highways and stuff. They're just so useful. Well, I guess this stretch, but we didn't build this stretch, so we don't actually have to pay for it. So not even going to bother messing with it. So as it stands, we just cut costs down quite a bit, which is going to make our graph look a lot better. I mean, if that's all we care about is statistics, it's going to look much, much better now. Let's look at our city treasury is going to go like this now. The amount we're losing is going to slow down by like 30%. Taxation isn't that bad. But what I wanted to look at was, how's the birth rate? Up. Influx is sadly 0. It went up for a second there. That's really disappointing. That's got to be the most disappointing thing that's happened. We had people coming in and then they just stopped. What was I looking for? Oh, city budget. That should drop rather heavily within a little bit. Are there any just unnecessary roads and stuff? Yeah, these bridges are... at least this one. This one right here. Completely unnecessary. You guys can just go through to Canada the normal way. Great. So you guys can go through there, you guys can go through there, down there, and through here. Brazil is kind of dead. But the infrastructure there is pretty fantastic. So again, I don't want to destroy all of our work, because then it's not really surviving. It's just deleting stuff until we're fine. Let's check other costs. So where can we cut? Water is already low. We aren't having any real fire issues, so we can probably drop the budget to 100% without any real issues. And the same with police. I mean, our service isn't fantastic, but nobody's complaining about it. Dropping those costs brings us down to under 20,000 in excess expenditure. Expenditure, not expenditure. My god. Okay, what else can we do? Health is already pretty low. Water's low. Electricity. How much electricity are we making? Oh, we're making way more than we need. Way more than we need. Why are we making way more than we need? Each of these is 166 a week. How about we just shut down this bit of grid right here if it's serving no purpose. This is how you save money. Small things. Small things all over the world are being shut down. This is our economic class right here, this episode. This is how to solve the problem of a debt crisis featuring the United States. You know, if we treat each million as a trillion, which is actually more accurate, so we'll treat each million as $1 trillion. How about that? It should be a bit more, but we're about at the debt level of the United States right now, if that were true. So now, okay, everyone's complaining about electricity, but why is everyone complaining? Because now our production is at 0. Okay, so it looks like these just generated a lot more than we needed, but we can't just shut them all down. Great, good to know. I thought that we had another area generating. Pardon me. That's one way to make people upset. Get rid of all of the electricity. Okay, so if we turn on like 5 more. Can we even scale? Because 8,000 people use this much power, which means that we can get to about 16,000 people before we have issues. But, like, we need to get way more than 16,000 people if we want to solve the debt problem. I think at least. I mean, maybe we can survive on that little. But, okay, so I'm actually very happy with the expenditure going down there. It's going down by a lot. It may still seem really bad, negative 16,000, but compared to negative 40,000, that's a drop in the water. You know what, we'll just turn these off. We don't need quite that many. We probably don't even need like 90% of them. There we go. What are we at now? We're just above what we need. Great. And the same with water pumps. Shut everything off. You don't need, because we have to not die. Man, I love my hit singles. Great music, right? Right, guys? I know. Best music. Okay, it looks like we've got plenty still. So let's shut a few more off. And now we've got right where we want it to be. Look at that, we're under $15,000. Over expenditure. So that's good. That's great. I mean, our population is also over 8,000 now. Okay, we have a few sewage issues, so let's just turn one of those back on, shall we? Oh no, that's because of electricity running out again. Fantastic, good to know. Great to know that we are, really screwing over the few people who are left alive. How about that? Is that better? That would seem to be better. Okay, great. Good thing we're all on the same page now. That's still probably not enough electricity. This is actually really worrying. As the population goes up, I think we're gonna have an electricity demand issue. And it's really expensive. Maybe we can just stop importing cargo. No, that would instantly kill Wait! We have people coming in! Did you see that? That was more people coming in through the airport. Oh, nice. Does that mean that that's Oh, look at that. Look at that. The city budget. Down. Down a lot. Dropping that budget so quickly. And look at that. Like I said, it's starting to curve. It's starting to curve. We've got things under control, guys. Definitely. Population change is doing well. Influx is what we want to look at. Come on. 0 still. But the birth rate is going up, which is really good news. For trying to repopulate the world, that's the best thing we can have. A high birth rate. And it's actually impressively high. Considering this is pretty much all from birth, the population is going up very, very quickly. Probably because it's very low education levels. And another thing people said is that the low-density housing actually has more children, which I guess is pretty realistic because, you know, urban lifestyle. So somewhere that isn't a ton of people, but has a lot of area. I think Mexico's gonna be it. We're gonna turn Mexico... Oh, the southeast. Southeast, actually. We are going to convert them to low density. Because what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us a huge, huge opportunity to raise the population. And it's gonna have a slight population loss initially, which kind of hurts. But switching it to low density should convince new small families to move in and have children. Please. Florida, you are now no commercial. Congratulations. Your demographics have completely changed. And come on. Someone. Are they just stuck there? Yeah, they are. They're just not moving. Hopefully new people move in here and I'm correct with that. The issue is there isn't really a house building market right now. There's kind of just a, everything dead. Everyone moving into empty buildings. I don't know if anyone wants to build new buildings. But we can clean out a lot of these abandoned buildings that are lowering land value and decreasing our tax income. That's something we can deal with rather efficiently. Oh yes, like right here, this is just really bad. I don't know if I need to tell you that, but Silicon Valley was rebuilding itself, but now it's time to rip it down. It is, it's just as dead as it was after the first apocalypse. The second apocalypse of just everyone abandoning it was pretty bad as well. Okay, so that is good news. Look at that. I mean, I will be honest, there's a lot of work to do in the world. But if we just get a little bit done at a time... Are those... Oh, those are actual buildings. Okay, so they're not... I thought they were offices for a second that were actually functioning. And I was really confused because offices need a ton of workers. But thank you, game, for making me know that, no, the problem isn't going away. It is just as dead as it was before. Now we're only down 11,000. Look at that. The taxes are almost to the point where we're making money. Very close. Our deficit is shrinking. Man, that's exciting stuff. Welcome to Building Demolishing Simulator with Spike Viper. We demolish buildings. Look at that. We got rid of all the low quality. Now we're gonna get rid of all this low quality. Well, look, the farmland's starting to come back, actually. We have some actual little farms popping up, which are making products which are being shipped out. That's actually really good news. That's probably better news than a lot of the other news. Actually having industry come back is huge. That means that we have enough of a population to kind of sustain themselves. Once they stop importing everything from everyone else, it's very good. How's this going? Nobody has moved in. Maybe I just bulldozed a bunch of people's homes and made them leave Earth for no reason. Sad. And this forestry industry is actually strong as ever. They're doing very surprisingly well considering. Yeah, Quebec has really picked themselves up. There will always be trees. Always be trees to make them some money. Oh my god, wait, that's a normal plane! 23 people! Oh, yes! Please! Continue doing that. Wait, another one with 2 people. Oh man, that's really exciting stuff. I'm gonna be honest. These are really exciting times. Because the population is shooting back up. In a really positive direction. Okay, so the birth rate is still rising. The death rate is not 0 anymore, but it's not terrible. The city budget is dropping and taxation is rising. They're so close together. Look at that. We are so close to balancing things out. It's actually almost impressive. Influx is going up. Now we have 5. That's really good news. Having influx up is probably the most important thing we can do in the entirety of the city, is getting people in who aren't, like, really old. Because the really old people are just gonna die on us. Okay, we are over 9,000 population now. We haven't had any disasters recently, which is fantastic. It's given us a chance to come back. No, I never disabled them. We've just gotten very lucky. We have planes coming in, bringing citizens in. Our deficit is shrinking. How is land value doing? It's actually going up. Like, it was completely white before in these areas, and now it's turning back to blue. Greenland, obviously, is doing the best. But we can definitely see some progress coming along. It is not a dead city situation anymore, or dead world situation. There is hope. There is definitely hope. Although people are getting a little bit sick over here. I don't know why, though. Oh well. I'm not too concerned. Probably because they're just far away from all the services. Whoa. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on over here, but it's industrial, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm surprised that Greenland is able to keep the entire world together. You see, they're starting to complain about things now. The population is getting high enough that people actually do care about things like police and stuff. Which means that we're probably going to have to raise budgets on stuff. But we're about to break 10,000 population, and that's over 100! How many people are coming in? There's actually enough people coming in by air now that it's actually saying passenger service last week. This is really good. We're actually pulling off surviving from literally the entire world being destroyed. There were no cheats or anything involved in this either. This was just smart planning. This would have been much better if we had never went for that wall in the first place, though. That wall did not do us very well. We misjudged the size of the wave. We thought that it would stop it. It did not. It did not in any way stop the flood. But that doesn't mean that we have to despair. We still would have run through our entire money supply. We had, like, I think at our top we had a few million in reserve. Let's see. At our max, we had 4 million. But look at this. Look at this extremely healthy curve here. It was going out of control, out of control, out of control, out of control. We're gonna die. And now it's starting to catch itself. It's so low. We have so little money. It's put itself into E notation, which is pretty great. Pretty great. But the budget and taxation are getting closer, and it's closing the gap. That's the best. And now the influx is at 12. Guys, it's happening. Did that office just build itself? This is so much hope right now for the world. That there is a chance that everything's going to be fine. I mean, the chance isn't fantastic. There's still a lot of issues. Like, once people start complaining about fire and police and stuff, they may start abandoning. And then we're going to see the population be concentrated in Greenland. And will Greenland be able to hold that many people? Lots of questions. But, we may have a solution on... Well, in the near future. I mean, look at that. Now we're at 7,000 deficit, which isn't that bad. So, guys, with that, I'm going to say we are seeing a new period of hope and rebuilding. It's not the greatest the city has ever been, and it's certainly not the worst. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace.